Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Em and this is going to be my February TBR for 2025, or my TBR for February 2025. I don't want to film this right now. I feel like this is rude and that I still have 3 weeks of January, even though it's already January 23rd because January is a million years long, and I feel like I still have all this time left to read books when in fact I only have 7 days. Yeah, that's how I feel. Okay, but we're gonna just dive into this. I feel like if I was gonna give this video a title, it would be Revenge of the Tomes, because I have a lot of chunky books that have ended up on this TBR so far. I also, in between filming my January TBR and filming this, have joined approximately 30 book clubs. It feels like. Between book clubs and reading challenges, I might have bitten off more than I can chew. I just got so excited. There was all this New Year content. There were all these people announcing read-alongs and book clubs and reading challenges, and just they all looked like such a good time, and I wanted to participate in every single one. And it feels like I'm actually trying to participate in all of them at the moment. All right, let's jump in. Let's start with my own reading challenge, my personal one, my year of Butler and Gaskell. February is an even month, and so that means it's an Elizabeth Gaskell month. And if this is the first time you're hearing about this, I have made it a personal challenge to alternate reading a book by Octavia E. Butler with a book by Elizabeth Gaskell. These are 2 classic women authors that I either haven't read at all or I've only maybe read one book from, and I want to make a concerted effort to read any of their books from their careers. And so I started off the year with Kindred by Octavia E. Butler, and now, because it is an even month, where I am reading an Elizabeth Gaskell. I did make a Fable book club for this. I will link it down below. I'll be honest, I have no idea what I'm doing on Fable, so you know, it's there. It's there if you want to read with me. So in February, I'm going to be reading North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell, which is a reread for me. I read North and South for the first time 6 years ago, 7 years ago. I don't know. My youngest was very little at the time and is now 9.5. So it's been a minute. And I'm so excited to reread this. I remember being absolutely and utterly in love with North and South. Of course, I had seen the miniseries with Richard Armitage. And the book was, of course, different from the miniseries, but gave me the same feelings I felt when I read Pride and Prejudice, though North and South definitely has more social and class commentary than Pride and Prejudice does. But anyways, absolutely loved it. I'm so excited to reread it and hopefully love it just as much the second time around. So again, yeah, if you want to join me, I'll link that down below. Yeah, I had a great experience reading Kindred, so I'm really excited to keep going with my little project. So I do the Buzzword Reading Challenge created by Kayla at Books and Lala, and then this year she also had a Buzzword Cover Challenge, and the Cover Challenge and the Reading Challenge actually can overlap this year. There's one book in particular. I'm sure there's more books that cover both. You can make both prompts work, but there's a new release in particular that works for both of them. The Reading Challenge prompt is to read a book with water-related words in the title, and then the Cover Challenge is to read a book with a skyline on the cover. And luckily, Water Moon by Samantha Soto Yambo fits both prompts perfectly. I don't know a ton about this. I've been kind of avoiding synopses or reviews because I kind of want to go into it and just figure it out for myself. I have slowly stopped reading synopses over the years, but this takes place in Tokyo in a pawn shop, and I believe it's magical realism, and then there's some sort of mystery. And I don't really want to know more than that. I think the cover is stunning, and I have the audiobook. Might also go out and buy a physical copy, if only because this cover is so pretty. But that is going to work for both prompts, so that takes a little bit of the work. That takes at least one book off my list because I can double up. And then for the Betty Pages Challenge Your Shelf Reading Challenge, their theme this year is Dystopian Novels Are So 2025. Betty's Pages is an indie bookstore, and they have this really great reading challenge every year where each month has a theme, and then they give you a book from every genre or age category. They give you a book from every age category, so you can pick how in-depth you want to dive into the topic. And for February, because it's dystopian, there's a classic dystopian novel so far each month. And so I'm going to read 1984 because I've never read it. It was one of those books that I just kind of missed in high school. I took Brit Lit in high school instead of American Lit, and so there's a lot of like classic American books that I've just never read because I took a different, focus. And yeah, so I've never read 1984. I'm a little excited. I'm a little scared. And we'll see how this goes. I might read something else as well because it looks like the owner of Betty Pages is also including a nonfiction choice. And I think the nonfiction choice for February is about the internet and its effect on our relationships with each other, which is a topic I am wildly interested in. So we'll just have to see how my mood reading goes, how many books end up on this stack, and just how I feel. But I could add on to it, but I will for sure be reading 1984. I'm also participating in Becca's Catch-Up Book Club. This year she's leading a read-along through the Faithful and the Fallen series by John Gwynne. I read Malice a full year ago and gave it like 3.5 stars. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it, and I just kind of decided that I wasn't going to continue on with the series. And then Becca announced that she was going to do this, and I've always wanted to participate in Catch-Up Book Club, but by the time I started following Becca on YouTube, she was like deep in Joe Abercrombie, and I'm not interested in Joe Abercrombie. So I've just kind of been waiting for her to pick a series that I have minimal amount of interest in, and she did. So I'm going to read Valor by John Gwynne in February, which I don't know that I'm excited about, but I'm hoping that I can grow to love this series more than I did on book 1. But this is pretty classic hero's journey, dude bro fantasy. We'll just see how it goes. I don't read a lot of dude bro fantasy, so wish me luck. And I also almost forgot that I am doing a in-person book club with some moms in my community, and I think we're reading our first book in February, and our first book is going to be James by Percival Everett, which I'm super excited about because I've been wanting to read James since it came out last year. Ever since I first started to see and hear reviews for this book, I have wanted to read it, and that has only increased as I see more people read it, I hear more reviews, I watch it get all these awards. So this is Percival Everett's not take, but further imagining of the character Jim from The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. So I'm super excited. I haven't been part of a real in-life, in-person book club in a very long time. Hopefully this new book club is successful and goes for a while. But yeah, we're starting with James, and I'm really excited. And then the last book club that we're going to talk about is a science fiction and fantasy book club that I have joined virtually through another indie bookstore that's like all the way on the other side of the country. And for February, we are reading Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel, which I read when it first came out. So this will be a reread for me, but it'll be interesting because I've never reread it. But I have really fond, very vivid memories of reading it for the first time. I hope this isn't too much dystopian. I feel like between 1984 and Station 11 might be a little bit of a 1-2 punch of too much seriousness, but we'll see. I think what I have physically in my stack will counterbalance all the seriousness of the dystopian novels. I hope. So I am rolling over 2 books from my January TBR. I am rolling over Nona the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. This is a reread for me. I have already started it, but I am reading it very slowly and just enjoying my time, really soaking it up and trying to spot all the things that I missed the first time around. I will not spot all the things, but because I never spot all the things, but I'll spot more of the things than I did the first time around. But this is the third book in the Locked Tomb series. Book 1 is Gideon the Ninth. This is my favorite series of all time, and January/February is reread a Locked Tomb book season in my house. But there's no pressure. Like, it's just for fun. So, taking it nice and slow. And then I'm also rolling over Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco. I borrowed this from my sister and meant to get to it in January, but it's so chunky. Between this and Valor, I'm a little afraid for my reading life, but I normally try to read some romance around Valentine's Day, and I thought this year it might be fun to maybe read some romantasy instead. So yeah, I'm going to hold on to this for one more month, see if I can at least take a crack at it and see what I like, if I like it. Another romantasy that is on my radar that I'd like to read is The Starlight Heir by Amelie Howard. This just came out at the end of January. This is an ARC copy that I have. Amelie Howard has traditionally been a historical romance author, and I've read one of her historical romances, and I really enjoyed it at the time. And this is her first foray into romantasy, and one of my friends whose taste I really trust said she really loved it, and I recommended that I read it. And so here it is. This also fulfills my personal goal of reading at least one ARC a month to get them off my shelf of shame where my ARCs go to die. But I also have 2 more ARCs on this list, so as long as I read one of them, that one will be covered. So another ARC I have, and this one, comes out next Tuesday. So it comes out a couple days before you'll see this. And it is The Legend of Menaka by Kritika H. Rao. This is a retelling of a Hindu mythology. And I've read one book by Kritika H. Rao, and I really liked it. I read her debut. And I didn't love it, but I really liked it, and I liked her writing, and I liked all the ideas she had. And so I'm interested to read something from her that's set in a different world. And again, this comes out pretty soon, so it would be pretty awesome if I could read this close to its pub date and let you know how it went. And then this ARC doesn't come out anytime soon, but I saw it at the bookstore. Oh, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, I am the social media manager for an indie bookstore. So that's where my ARC supply comes from. It's a problem. But I was at the bookstore and I saw this on the shelf, and I got so excited because I read this author's debut last summer and had a blast with it. Enjoyed it so much, and I'm so excited to read something else from her. And it is The Grimoire Grammar School Parent-Teacher Association by Caitlin Rizakis. Rizakis' debut was Dreadful, which came out, like I said, over the summer, and I just absolutely was delighted with it. It was so farcical and fun and ridiculous, and good gracious. And I'm so excited to read this one. It sounds like it's going to be similarly ridiculous. This is about Vivian, whose kindergartner Arya is bitten by a werewolf. And so Vivian's family are rapidly introduced to this hidden community of magical schools, and Arya is enrolled in the Grimoire Grammar School, and it sounds like it's going to be ridiculous and over the top and so fun. And I actually did start it a little bit. I read 12 pages because I'm just so excited to read another book from Caitlin Rizakis. It doesn't come out until May, but I don't care. I need to read it. I'm so excited. And then another one of my personal challenges every month is to read at least one book off my Kobo that I previously had, not something that I bought within the current month to read. I did it in January, but I DNF'd the book, which is fine. I'm still attempting it. This is a very much a mood reading prompt for me because I don't really know which one of these I'm going to want to dive into, but I was getting into the bad habit of buying ebooks and then just letting them sit on my Kobo, and I need to stop. I need to stop. I need to read them because I've had some of them on here for a year, and I at least need to attempt to make the attempt. Another personal prompt I have for myself is to read one nonfiction book every month, but that is also a mood read prompt because I never kind of know like what I'm going to want to go down the rabbit hole about. So we'll leave that one open. And then let's go over library books really quick. I currently have a book waiting for me at the library that I need to go pick up, but it's one I'm really excited to read, and it will definitely be a priority because it's not new, but it's very popular, and if I don't read it within the 3 weeks checking it out, I will not be able to return it because I guarantee somebody else is on the wait list behind me. But it is Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinniman. This book has been everywhere. I don't know why it got into the zeitgeist all of a sudden because it's been out for a while. I think book 8 just came out or something like that. So I don't know why all of a sudden it's so popular, but it's about a man who has to navigate this competition with his ex-girlfriend's talking cat. Sure, but everyone's reading it. And I want to be like everyone. I want to be in on the conversation. So I'm going to read it. I'm going to go pick it up in the library and I'm going to read it. Am I going to love it? I don't know. Speaking of dude bro fantasy, is this dude bro fantasy? It might be. I have no idea. But I want to know. I think that's the only library book that's waiting for me. So that makes that list pretty short. I guess we can go in the TBR jar. Is that what time it is? I think that's what time it is. All right, so I'm going to draw 2 titles for my TBR jar. Unless it's Samantha Shannon. If I pull a Samantha Shannon, I'm only reading one because that would be the worst. Speaking of tomes, my goodness. That would not set me up for success. Ooh, okay. I don't know if I'm excited about this one. Okay, we have We Are Satellites by Sarah Pinsker. Oh, I don't know. This is science fiction, and it's about 2 parents, Val and Julie, who agree to let their son, David, get a new brain implant that will help him with school. And then, soon Julie feels mounting pressure at work to get the same implant and leaves Val and their daughter Sophie part of the shrinking minority of people without the device. I give myself permission to skip this one. I feel like everything going on with AI right now. This might be too scary. This might actually be a horror novel disguised as science fiction. So we'll see. I'm going to put it on the TBR, but I usually recycle these puppies once I draw them. I'm putting it back in the book just in case, so that if I get to the end of February and go, nope, not for me, dog, I can just put it back in the jar. Because I just don't know. All right, let's draw book number 1. God, please be fun. Do I have any fun books on the shelf? Oh, I should add my new books from December. I don't think I've done that yet. What's this one? Oh, I forgot I did this. So, at some point, I think in November, I added my ebooks into this jar because I was so frustrated with how I wasn't picking them up. Okay, that's okay. And this is nonfiction, which works because I have that goal for myself anyways. So book 2 is The 100 Years War on Palestine. That's not a lighter book, but okay. But no, that's good. I need to read it. I don't think I have the audio, so it's probably going to take me a while. Okay. Well, the jar wasn't as gentle as I wanted it to be this month, but no, that's good. It'll be fine. It'll be good knowledge for me to consume. Do I want to add any more to the stack? No, I do not. My God, I don't have Valor, and I don't have Dungeon Crawler Carl yet. What hair is on my face? So I'm looking at this stack, and it doesn't look that bad, but I'm trying to remind myself, and I don't have Water Moon, so trying to remember myself that it is 3 books taller than it actually is. And Valor is not an insignificant book. Okay, so that is going to be my TBR for February. Why did I give myself such a long TBR in the shortest month of the year? What's the matter with me? Also, I'm going on away for a weekend in February. Why is my TBR this big? Anyways, so let me know your thoughts. If you've read any of these, what you think I will think of any of these, if you think I am certifiable for putting this many books on my TBR. And if you just want to leave an emoji to let me know you were here, I guess let's do the upside down smiling emoji or the face melting emoji. Let's do the face melting emoji because that's how I feel right now. and that's probably going to be the vibe going into February. And like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I will talk to y'all in the next one. Bye!